Hello everyone, welcome back to the TJOmega channel for day 1486 of our daily content grind. It is Monday, it is time for a news roundup. I waited as long as I could for the news roundup this week because frankly, it was a very quiet week for Transformers, so I almost had nothing to talk about. Fortunately, Wonderfest Shanghai went on, so we can talk about that today. There's a ton of reveals from all of Hasbro and Takara's partner brands. But we are going to be starting with some of the major stuff that did drop because, hey, we do have some major things. For instance, Hasbro shipped out all of the replacement Optimus Primes for all of the HasLab stuff, and the replacement Ultra Magnuses for people who had white, yellowing problems on their Ultra Magnus. I am happy to say I also got mine. This is the very first time that my Super Optimus Prime has been fully built. When I noticed that mine had the belly damage, I decided I am not going to do anything with this toy. I packed it away, put it back in its box, set it aside, never even messed with the Ultra Magnus, who was, you know, aside from a few tolerance issues, seemed to be fine. The fun part is, since it was a full Optimus Prime, I could just have my Super Fire Convoy and my Omega Prime at the exact same time. That's kind of a fun little accident. You know what? And I think fair compensation for screwing up this whole thing. But yeah, shipped in this tiny little, unsuspecting box. You just had this like complete cab replacement, which is, yeah, this is the resolution that Hasbro needed to do. Like, this is what they needed to do to make as much amends as possible. And yeah, from all reports, it works smoother. Like the actual like extension is not nearly as tight anymore. From what I know, the tolerances on the Magnus were not fixed. They mostly just made sure that it wouldn't yellow. Now, fortunately, I've owned my Magnus for many months. It is not yellowed in the slightest, but then again, it's been in a box. But then again, the yellowing we've seen is not really cared about being in a box or not. It's a long whole process. Either way, I'm happy with the current situation of my HasLab Omega Prime, and I'm happy I'll be able to display mine along with all the other HasLabs that I have. But that said, this is still not the best news. So this is what the modified piece looks like, and I do mean modified. Hasbro did no new tooling to fix this problem. It is not a brand new part. They did not adjust the existing tools. All they did was do the exact same thing all of us did, presumably. All it did was shave down the sides of the T-block that makes up that slide joint. And that's it. That's really it. They also cut off a nub. They also cut off a thing that also was partially to blame. So all they did was send you like a copy of that toy again, but with a modified piece. They didn't put a whole lot of effort into the new one. And for a lot of people, it is not sanded completely. So while it does improve it, you could still see the problem that we've been dealing with. And at this point, they aren't going to do anything else about it, which is unfortunate. As long as it's not breaking any internal parts now, fine. And then I guess we just wait for a third party to put out like the fix, because there will absolutely be a fix at some point. If there is not one already. Point being, it's the quickest, laziest way they could go about producing a fix for this. I'm actually disappointed, but not surprised. We'll be talking about the entirety of the Omega Prime fiasco in another video later this week. We'll go from the beginning and the controversy that surrounded the beginnings of the campaign all the way to now, where we have this somewhat unsatisfactory result from Hasbro. That's about all we can do. That's probably about the last time we'll be mentioning Omega Prime on the channel, because frankly, it's such a big toy with so much to do. I don't feel comfortable reviewing it. I'm just going to keep it and enjoy it for my own sake. But for now, yeah, like this is the status of the Omega Prime fiasco. A commendable job from Hasbro in like this fix was absolutely an expensive one to do, but it's weird. They went with the most expensive option to fix the problem that they possibly could have done, but then they also went with the laziest way of fixing it they could have done. So I'm not sure how the balance is here. We'll wait a few days. We'll see what the fallout is and see if anyone else has any major issues with the fix, and then we'll do the whole video roundup of the whole thing. Let's move on to someone that seemed to be completely fine right out of the box. People are getting Missing Link RC in hand, and that is awesome to hear. So here we are with the pink version, the anime accurate, with the different head sculpt than the original. And she is looking exceptionally nice. Like, that is just spot on G1 RC vehicle mode, rendered in a way that's far nicer looking than a lot of those previous attempts to render her are, which is ironic considering this is trying to be in the style of the 86 toy line. Yeah, rub symbols on there, seems like, it's very Blur-esque. Like the design stylings and the sculpting to it does like very much remind me of Blur. So like that, the aesthetic is correct. Obviously in robot mode, she is looking very much like the old prototype. We have to remember, the old prototype was not designed to transform. It was just a demonstration of what they wanted the RC toy to look like. And it was based on the original animation model and colors, hence why it's orange and pink. And why the shoulder blocks are there and they aren't just like sent to the back of her like they are on modern designs. Still, looks pretty good. Actually does look pretty good. Yep, she gets old school Transformer style gun. And here's where the missing link part comes in, because she is exceptionally articulated. Yeah, look, she does look right at home next to Hot Rod. Especially in vehicle mode. I think in robot mode, her modern design engineering does show a little bit. Things like those hollowed out forearms are definitely not something the original line would have done. But everything else, yeah, that just seems like, yeah, it's like this is what Missing Link was for, to bridge those gaps this collection had. And this is still a cute image. It's still a really cute image. Yeah, I'm actually really happy with the scaling too, because like it is designed scaled for the 86 figures rather than like the 84, 85, because those tend to be much smaller than the 86 figures were. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. And that's a Sentinel Prime. Don't give him that credit. Okay, there is a consequence. But then again, Cup has a flat head in G1 as well. Yeah, see, this is what I mean. It's like, you see the one on the right, like that's 86 RC. The one on the left looks way more like she did in the show, in the movie as well. Yeah, I'm still torn myself, because like that is G1 RC. Like that really does look like her. And I'm sure if she actually came out, she would probably have been in the white and pink rather than the orange and the salmon pink. But the orange and salmon pink is the way I've seen her forever. So it feels wrong. Like, I don't know. I can't afford to do both, but I can at least do one of them. So I'm still torn on which one it is going to be, but I absolutely want this. This is what I've always wanted Takara to do. Fill in the gaps from G1, because there's a few you could do. Waiting on a DevCon now. Now, on for something that's going to be a little bit more affordable. So we have the first images for our retro G1 release of Outback and Wheelie, which is the very interesting one. So this is the Walmart exclusive line. Retro packaging, design style is more akin to the original toy rather than the animation look. We will probably get those later on, probably next year in Age of the Primes. But for now, we have just standard Outback, who does look fine. We are, and you can see he still has the Mysterian's M as a reference to the origins of the toy. I just have to accept that we are in this period where you are never going to see a properly designed Outback that actually has his design elements that are unique from Brawn. We're just going to have head swaps on Brawns from now on. Because you have to remember, after season 1, the toy design, the character models started being a lot closer to how the toys looked. So like his arms should be completely silver and he should have doors hanging off of his shoulders. Obviously he does not. This is where an upgrade company is going to come in. Honestly, yeah, like even like looking on, like I wish someone spoil surprise. I wish there was like a, yeah, because it doesn't strike me. Mine are in the other room right now. This doesn't strike me as like this is Outback. Like I would want his brighter, like I want the different color palette that was in the cartoon. But hey, it'll be a quick way of getting him. And then there's this. So a deluxe class wheelie toy, and it actually looks pretty good. This actually looks pretty good. I think it's hysterical they use his G1 packaging art for this because it looks so absurd. It looks so absurd. Vehicle mode does look nice. I like the dome shape. This is a really well-rendered wheelie. And then, yeah, the robot mode does look good too. He is going to be standard deluxe size, which is going to be a little bit annoying because he is supposed to be like one of the smallest Autobots, even amongst mini-bots. In that sense, the core class is probably still the way to go. And this will probably end up in Age of the Primes rather than Studio Series, simply because, you know, it's the right design. Like, and then it's just going to be wildly out of scale, but it's a nice interpretation of Wheelie if he was a full-size Autobot. Now, they go with these colors first because these are the weird colors. These are not the show-accurate colors that are going to fit in with your Generations line. So the idea here is that you get that out of the way first, and people will buy it just because it's a brand new toy. It's a brand new mold, especially accounts for Wheelie. But for the sake of marketing, they leave the color scheme you really want for the repaint. That way they get you twice. And when it comes to obscure characters like Outback or less popular in the fandom characters like Wheelie, I will admit it is a clever and admittedly sometimes necessary move. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to pick this up as soon as I see this version or if I'm going to wait. At the very least, I will probably grab the Wheelie on site just because the mold does look really good. I do want to see how it turned out. Takara did another press photo for Masterpiece G's Soundwave. And this is, again, just confirmation that we are getting a straight up repaint. Accessories included. He does have all the original accessories of the original with like the alternate fronts for his chest, as well as the Energon cube emerging. So nice to see you're getting all of that. Otherwise, yeah, we've pretty much seen this one, so we don't really have anything new to talk about. Also, this is already going a little bit long. I've been pontificating to try and fill out time. But we can go into the reveals that were at Wonderfest Shanghai 2025, and that is going to start with the T-Spark booth from Takara Tomy, where we get to show off a lot of the stuff that we know is on the way. Now, this is a fascinating shot because this is the first time we have seen a really good shot that lets us scale Adamus Machina Predaking. Because I have Masterpiece Super Jinrai. I also have G1 Ultra Magnus. So that gives me a size comparison here. If I look at my Jinrai, which is over here, Jinrai, you're never going to get me to change that. If I look at my Jinrai over there, and I realize that this Predaking is slightly shorter than him, I'm probably canceling that order. Not only because crazy expensive to get this out of Japan once it comes out, crazy expensive to begin with, this is way smaller than I really would want. Like this, like he's gonna come in smaller than the Generations combiners, and I didn't expect him to scale to that, but like literally this might be like small deluxe scale figures at best on him, and that is not really what I am wanting to pay extreme amounts for. I mean, I know not everyone likes it, but I like my Power of the Primes Predaking enough to say, yeah, I don't need a super high-end Predaking. Cool as it looks, it's basically the same price after shipping as like getting a third-party one. At that point, just get a third-party one, you know? Like, there's a Feral Rex that ended up in my collection. I wouldn't mind having that out again, you know? So we, I don't know. I think this shot just convinced me I don't want that Predaking anymore. For the price, I just don't see what I'm getting out of it. Everything else looks nice. You know, there's MPG Optimus, and, you know, he, again, if he is like the ultimate toy, masterpiece toy transformer based on the toy Optimus Prime, he's doing a good job of it. Looks fine. Yeah, still looks sleek. It looks just like the designers just got to do whatever they wanted, you know, for their Optimus Prime. They decided a little bit of everything we liked from previous ones. All right, so we'll stick with Wonderfest Shanghai for pretty much the rest of this video outside of the last news story. So here's Flame Toys stuff. We can see their big convoy stylized just like the other one, so he'll fit in well with your Lio convoy. There's a close-up of Black Arachnia, which is exaggerated. The Starscream is gorgeous. You know, they did really, really good on Starscream. There's your Diatlas, who's looking depressed. The shoulder slump is not helping this man. There's the pretty one. God, the Cyclonus is gorgeous. Now, these are the model kits ones, so this will be relatively affordable compared to their, like, Kurakara Kuri line. But this, yeah, like, this might be worth importing. Tell me that they're doing a tailgate, and then I will say if this one is worth importing. And then we get the Optimus Prime, which is still cool. The G1 Megatron version is on the way. Bonsai-tron. It's so weird to me that Bonsai-tron, of all things, keeps getting toys just because they need something to repaint Bludgeon into. It's like the only Action Master that does get a lot. I like that they put all the evil purple guys off to the left here. That's actually pretty funny. Yeah, okay. I love this. I love this. It's a Shockwave head on their Jazz figure, which is a throwback to alternators. Now, there's not enough alternator homages, so that's actually kind of cool to see. Shatterglass Long Arm is what they are calling this. You know what it's going to be, though. You know what you'll be able to do with it. Like, they're not doing, like, Shatterglass Long Arm. Though I can't remember if Shatterglass Long Arm is actually gray or not. I can't remember his color scheme. God, that would be such a weird pull. That would be such a weird pull, not just like Shock Blast. I don't know. It's a weird one. Neat, but weird. Oh, he's got a Decepticon symbol. Okay, so they're calling it Shatterglass Long Arm. It's Alternator. It's Alternator Shock Blast, which I might actually go for because that's so crazy cool. So is that drawing. So is the artwork. Ooh. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, that's a pretty Rodimus. Oof. Oof. Okay, we got. Oh yeah, they're selling Energon Stars too. There's your Magnus. There's a really good look at the Cyclonus. Oh my god. Oh, that's amazing looking. So good offerings there. It's We know why we know why you're posing them that way. We know the market you're going for on those. Okay. So I see you, Flame Toys. I see you. Next up, YOLO Park. Which we might get a little bit new stuff from YOLO Park soon. I'm waiting to hear back on that. But for now, we see the new kits they have. And yeah, we've seen most of these before. So just cool to get good, clear images of them again. Nice up closes. There's your blackouts, your various movie characters. A bunch of model kits for Transformers 1. We know that this is going to come with like full upgrade parts for Orion Optimus or D16 Megatron, which is cool to see. They're getting a pretty solid movie cast together too. There's Blitzwing, Blitzwing or Starscream is also using the same mold, but with the Shockwave as well. And I really do like that Shockwave design a lot. Yeah, so a lot of movie offerings mostly is in their next run of figures. Still, yeah, YOLO Park does really, really good work. Usually pretty affordable stuff too. So good to see them still turning out a little bit more. Blockies, what have you got for us? So crazy options out of Blockies this time. So we're getting Tarn in like their full scale model kit size, and like it's just an extreme version of Tarn, which looks amazing already, even without paint. And then we're doing Prime Optimus Prime. That's crazy. That's such a weird pull for Blockies to do. I don't mind it. It's an Optimus design that really does not get enough attention. But yeah, like that's actually pretty cool. That's actually a really cool choice to make. They are also doing a Dark of the Moon Megatron, which I think is like one of his more popular movie appearances, so that makes sense. And we're getting a Bumblebee as well, so no huge surprises there. We have a lineup of prototypes over here, which I can see a Hound, I can see a Mirage. Hard to place the other ones offhand. Do we have listings for that? Characters in alt mode. So yeah, so these are Blocky's wheel transformers. They are what we're guessing are Scamper, Drag, Strip, or Mirage, Hound or Swindle, and Iron Fist question mark. That does kind of look like Iron Fist in the back. So yeah, and then the 6 wheels will tell you Scamper. That's a super weird pull to just do Scamper. So these are model kits of the vehicle modes. These do not transform. So crazy of them to do. Now it's a great way of just doing good looking car for Transformer toys. But Scamper, man, that's such a weird pull. It's such a weird pull. It's not obscure or deep cut, but it's weird. Okay, let's look at what Aldi is doing. So we have a far off shot of their what's it called? The Studio Ox take on Optimus Prime, complete with the wheels on the butt. Let's see. This is cool. This is cool. So we got Grimlock in both modes. Again, doesn't transform, separate kits, but it's that little it's that little Super Jinrai. That one's cool. Like just to have like a small scale action figure of him. That's actually pretty cool. Like he doesn't have anything like that yet. And it scratches your Power Master Prime vibes as well, if that's the one you had as a kid. That's actually a really, really interesting pull. We have a usual cast of characters here. We've got Ultra Magnus, Ironhide, Shockwave. Looks like a Starscream back there. A couple Minibot characters. Looks like a Brawn and... Oh, can I place that last one? The image is fuzzy. I want to go with a Beachcomber on that guess. The interesting one is Shattered Glass Ultra Magnus in the back, which does seem to be based on the modern Hasbro version. It has the accessories for it. Weird pull. They are also doing an IDW Cyclonus. Way overdue. Way overdue. And from what I heard, Aldi was actually teasing that a tailgate was on the way too, meaning that he will actually have his husband. That's good. There's an IDW Drift in the works as well. Great to see. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, so they just went ahead and confirmed, like, yeah, we're doing a tailgate too. That's great. That's Flame Toys' weakness right now. It's like they haven't announced a tailgate for that Cyclonus. I would pay for that Cyclonus if I knew a tailgate was going to follow. But Aldi's got my back, so Aldi's got my money. Yeah, the Cyclonus just looks so good. There's the tailgate. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So when I heard about it, someone literally just told me, yeah, they teased the tailgate. No one told me they actually just showed him off. Okay, I know who I have to send this photo to as soon as I'm done recording this video. Okay, we are not done. So, Way Studios also has their statues coming out, and they have also made some very weird pulls, including Beast Hunter's Optimus Prime. I just guess we're just giving Transformers Prime a little bit of love now. It's weird. It's weird they both decided to do it at the same time. Look at this lineup of Optimus Primes. Look at all these Optimuses that you can get at this scale, and no Cybertron, so you know they want me to cry at night. So we have, standard G1, we've got War Within, we got IDW, we got Prime, we got Beast Hunters. I'm trying to decide what the middle one is and the top right one is. I think the top right one might be comic book color. I'm not just judging that just from like the blue gun. I don't know. I can see color differences on obviously like the darker gray. I can't place exactly what version it is. And then top middle, yeah, we are getting the Skybound Optimus Prime. We've also got like Nemesis and Shattered, so it's cool to see they're covering every base here. And then they are doing a Dark of the Moon whole setup. So you get your Optimus Prime, you get his gigantic thing behind him. God, that's going to be crazy expensive. Yeah, they're just like coming swinging, these statues. These are neat, though. Like, these are actually articulated. These are not statues. They're just doing action figures of different primes, which is kind of neat. And it's cool to see they're hitting designs that typically don't get anything like this. I always like to see that. So that's everything toyetic, but we have one last thing, because at retail, Zuru's Gummy Yum Surprise has dropped. So, similar to Kinder Eggs, they are fruity candy strips that peel off to reveal a plastic egg, which contains one of 9 Transformer figurines. Figurines are smaller versions of the previous Zuru 5 surprise Transformer scale series with new sculpted poses for the robots. That would just make them new figures. They are smaller with new sculpted poses. That doesn't make them versions of the previous figures. That makes them new figures. So we got, very simple, and it's all evergreen in style, which I'm kind of getting tired of at this point. But it's Optimus, Wheeljack, Bumblebee, Megatron, and then a gold Bumblebee chase. So if you want a little bit of junk food with your Transformer toy, that is now an option. Also, I wasn't sure they could even get away with this. Like, it's supposed to be like in the US, you can't sell anything inedible. You can't sell anything that has something inedible surrounded by something edible. I do know it's just like gummy strips around an egg, but it still feels like this is pushing it. Like, if a Kinder Egg can't get away with it, I don't know why this can. But that is it for the news this week. Strangely enough, for what is actually a very slow news week, we went really long in this news video, and that's just solely because of Wonderfest just having a ton to announce. But there you go. That's everything in the news this week. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time. Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a Tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.